There we go.
7:06.
7:06, I
Okay.
see.
7:06.
Got it.
Okay. So for the, I'm not going to get into the explanation of the procedures. I'm going to do a quick roll call here. I'm here. Molly Brown,
Here.
Lindy Owens,
Here.
Jacob Taylor.
Present.
Okay, and I'm here as chairperson, Larry Bender. Chairperson announcements, as you know, that I'll be passing the wand on to you folks, and I will be joining possibly as a public member, but not as a LOCAC member anymore. I think I've served my time, but I will help. I will help with any questions or research or anything that anybody needs help with. I'm gladly still going to be available. Any comments or announcements from committee members?
I have one, I guess. We held our election, and two candidates got some votes, Deborah and Danielle. And I think we only had a total of 9 people that voted. So passed with flying colors.
Yes.
That's
Good. Public comment for items that are not on the agenda. Anyone here want to make a public comment? Signify by raising your hand, which is available at the bottom of the screen. Nobody has
I
any
guess
comments.
I'll
Lindy,
put
go ahead.
the comment that I understand that we're going to get the 1% growth rate. Has it been approved, and that will mean approximately 60 developments per year. And I understand that 50% of them need to be affordable. So that I thought was interesting.
Was that from the basin management?
A community plan, I think.
Oh,
And not even sure where I got that from, whether I saw it in an article or.
Just for my research, I mean, unless it's new or they changed it, it was supposed to be 1%, and Los Osos has 4,500 homes, so that would only be 445 homes a year that they could build.
Not 6,000 homes.
Not 6,000 homes.
Inside, outside.
Again, I will look at the new community plan a little closer now, and I will try to get back to you with an answer on that.
Okay, yeah, because that's kind of what I picked up from someplace.
Oh, okay. Or if you can find that and you can send it to me, I'd appreciate that also.
Okay, I'll have to dig through.
Okay. The minutes from our last meeting, April 8th, have been posted on the website. I hope everyone, and I sent a copy to everybody. Can we have, or anyone want to make any changes to the minutes from last meeting? Or someone want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I didn't read them. My bad.
Oh, Lindy, come on.
I know. Shame. I was just going to, and they're here on my other screen.
Okay.
But
I'll move to approve them.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, signify by raising a hand. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's unanimous. The minutes are approved for the meeting, for the April 8th meeting. Next, we have the first and only item on the agenda, a request by Glenn and Judy Settings to build a home on what is it, Travis Drive. And I see everybody's here for that. Preston, or I don't know who wants to start off the conversation. Tell us about
Rocky and Judy can give a little rundown on the property and what they plan to build there, and then I can kind of go over any of the architectural questions if you have any.
Okay, Rocky. you're
Yeah,
on-
yeah, we're planning on building a single family residence on Houston and Travis. It's a 2-story, 14-foot height limit, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. That's about all. I don't know what else you need to know, or
Okay, I will open up questions to the committee members. Molly, go ahead.
Can you talk about your proposal to reduce the width of that road and take that as private land as part of your proposal? And what is, if you know anything about CAL FIRE's views on that?
I don't know, Jeff, are you online here?
Yes,
Jeff's
I
here.
could provide a little background on that. Really, primarily, this is a question that is raised with the Public Works Department. The county is in an ongoing effort to reduce the length of roads they have to maintain, however small, as in this instance. So this was a joint collaboration, if you will, between the adjacent property owner, that is the property at the southeast corner of Houston and Travis, and then in discussions with Public Works. CAL FIRE will weigh in. We've based some of the preliminary design on some of their specifications for gateways and so forth. So at the end of the day, there'll be a fire truck access and a public walking access with a little sally port is what they're called, that allows pedestrians to enter, but people on motorcycles or horseback cannot. So that's the plan. The road vacation process, again, is handled by the Public Works Department. Planning gets in, and this is a completely independent process from the minor use permit process that you're considering as well. And Public Works will take this to the ultimately to the Board of Supervisors. And then in the meantime, the Planning Department goes to the Planning Commission to more or less get their blessing. So it's a two-pronged process, one of which being this vacation. The fire truck access will be available for any need in case of a wildland fire. And then the public walking access is connects to the Broderson open space that the county owns. That's part of the 80-acre parcel, of which the Broderson leach fields are part of the lower section. So this is an entry point for folks that access this open space. So that'll be preserved.
So are you saying that's a separate, the trail is separate, or is it just like one road that's like, maybe, can you tell us how what the width would be?
Yeah, it's a 25-foot width, and they're side by side. So the fire truck lane it won't be all that noticeable except for the gate at the end. There'll be a red curb painting, and the pedestrian access gate will be adjacent to the fire truck gate. So there'll be separate paths, but people will walk on the fire truck access, I'm sure.
So are you saying just the whole street would be reduced to a 25-foot width?
That's correct.
Okay. And do you have any, is there any sense yet of if CAL FIRE thinks this is a good idea or not a good idea?
I haven't seen any correspondence from them, yet, but I think they're gonna be supportive. I don't see any reason why not.
Are there any other lots beyond this lot that would
No,
not be?
in fact, that's kind of the genesis of the stub, is at one time, the rest of the hillside was intended for development. And this stub was gonna be continued, into more circulation, but, clearly that's not gonna happen with the open space, so. It's really unnecessary, for any, public transportation purpose other than pedestrian. So, this is what we've agreed to. And Preston, you want to share a screen with the drawing if some of the folks haven't seen the plan view of the,
Yeah, you'll have to open up the sharing if you want me to share it though.
yeah, what
Yeah,
do you
hang
think?
on
Is there
one
any interest in that?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too. I can't find it on this packet. Oh, there, I think I found it.
second.
It's at the bottom. It's pretty much at the, kind of down towards the bottom of the electronic document.
Yeah. No, I
Can you
see
see
it.
my screen now?
Yes.
So this right here is the original, or is the property line now, and then here would be the area would be abandoned to the settings property. And so this hatch right here shows that additional area that's gonna be vacated. And then this is the remaining distance right here, which is 25 feet.
So how wide is the part that they would be taking, the property owner?
Roughly 25 feet.
Wow. Okay.
And how does, could you explain how the road vacation works? I don't know if that then becomes part of their lot and then they, because we've had these in the past, but I'm, and so does Mr. Setting pay for that extra 25 feet or is that?
I don't think there's any, I mean, Jeff can probably weigh in on this a little better, but the past ones that I've done, I don't think there's any like financial fee to, like a purchase of land.
No, and in fact, I would just add that, in most subdivisions, the property goes to the center line, the underlying fee. And so that's usually the case. So this is really just a relinquishment of any future right to, for example, to use it as a connector road. That's really it. And there is no consideration. And in fact, at the end of the day, this is about the county reducing its road budget. And so, and it again will serve no future public purpose. So it seems like a logical pursuit.
Well, there is a public purpose of, I mean, to me, it all comes down to what CAL FIRE's willing to live with, because it's a, classic spot where they could provide access in a major wildland fire.
Yeah, and
So,
that's the idea, is to retain that. So they will be weighing in and we'll review their comments as they surface.
And it's on Houston Drive then. Yeah, I get it now. I'm looking
well,
at
it's the
yeah.
address is on Travis, but Houston is the side street, like the cross street.
Oh, thank you. Thank
It's
you.
basically at a corner. I went up there today to look at it.
Okay.
But basically it'd be like this would be the access right through here.
Yeah, it's basically a dead end, Lindy, of like a
I see
very
it now. Yeah.
short block. Yeah.
And that dead end is onto already purchased property that's in protected area.
Yes,
Okay. Is that part of Broderson?
yes.
Okay.
It's part of the upper portion of the 80 acres. That is the Broderson property.
Okay. Thank you.
Normally I don't like vacation of, public roads. We've had a few down in Los Osos on the flats there. Uh, and I'm not in favor of it. They had tried that on First Street for a while. But in this instance, I was up there and I saw Jeff the other day. Um, I can definitely see vacating this road because again, it's going to go nowhere. And it's going to take the money to keep the road in the condition. Looking at the picture right here, you can see it's going to need some work on it. Uh, so in this one instance, it's the first time I've ever uh, decided to go with the project of vacating the road or getting an encroachment permit to encroach upon the road and take it back into service. But that's only my thought on it. Otherwise, the rest of the project, it's a big house. I don't know what's going to be happening with all the vegetation and stuff there, but I'm sure Jeff is going to work out the logistics of all that. Uh, and it's going to have a dynamite view. And so I'd like to see houses built like this. So that's my 2 cents worth.
I have
Okay.
another question. I have another question for Jeff.
Yes, uh-huh.
So in general, when these kind of roads get, the road space gets given up to a private property owner, that's considered for the long term, right? It's not for a certain number of years.
That's correct. It's in perpetuity.
Yeah, so that's why they can build a garage on it and put a
Correct.
sewer system and stuff. Okay.
And the fire department has already signed off, or is
No,
that still?
no. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, because that's a little bit of my concern is sometimes they need to be able to turn around and do things.
I assume they'll be supportive because a typical fire road is 16 feet wide. And this isn't, there's no way a fire truck could turn around as is. It would have to hammerhead and back out. And so we're not changing the access nor changing how the fire truck would turn around.
I'm looking for the water use.
Rocky, you wanted to speak to the Title 19 retrofit? You did all the work on that.
Oh, yeah, well, we installed 18 retrofit pump packages in Los Osos residences and got 305 retrofit credits for the single family residence.
Is the house going to have any water savings, extra things like rainwater catchments?
Not
Consideration of the basin
yeah,
problems?
we'll be using ultra low flow fixtures in the house and
And you think you're going to use under 75 gallons per day?
The specification is 150 gallons per day. And at 300 plus points, that's the 2-to-1 ratio.
Oh, I'm looking at the sewage disposal. It says 75, less than. So
well, that's sewage
That's a lot of
disposal.
water
That
for
isn't
garden.
total water use.
excuse me?
Wouldn't that just be related to the sewers disposal, Jeff, and not like irrigation and so forth?
Well,
Yeah, it's the wastewater stream. That sounds a little low.
That's what's on your
Obviously,
paper.
the consumption, it might be 100 gallons a day, into the septic system. I don't recall that number.
Well, it probably should get corrected if you're still trying to find out what the,
The
Expected
engineer, we have, the engineers are designing the septic system, so I'm sure they've got the numbers down pat. That, I'm not doing that part.
and that's gonna meet the lamp
That-
requirements.
That's correct. And while we're on the miscellaneous items, it's likely, this project will also be participating in the habitat conservation plan for the community, which should be operational towards the end of the year, early next year.
And I don't see any tree removal permit on the application, are there plans to remove some trees? I didn't really get a chance to look at this very carefully. I'm sorry.
Yes, in the biological resources assessment prepared for the project, including the Morrow shoulder band snail survey, the tree numbers are articulated, and there are, I believe, approximately 8 to 10 Morrow manzanita and about 5 oak trees. I'm recalling from memory. So those are either replaced on site, or a fee is paid for participation in the habitat conservation plan. So that's the likely outcome. So the settings will be contributing rather significantly to future greenbelt acquisitions through that program.
So on the application, should it not have tree removal permit, or does that fall under this other?
I'm pretty
plan?
sure there's reference to the biological resource assessment, but that's a good point, and we can certainly make that clarification.
Yeah, I'd like to have that added on there because
Okay, are there any other questions or comments about this project? Would anyone like?
My only comment is just, I'm not sure how to handle it, but I don't want to vote, yes for this project. I would like CAL FIRE to make a determination on whether or not they want to give up that road width. And maybe they will, but.
Well, okay, your vote could either you support the project, you don't support the project, or you could just abstain from voting, and not make with your comment of waiting for the CAL FIRE thing. They might have an answer when this goes to LOCAC on May 23rd, my birthday. At the LOCAC meeting, Molly, you might
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
bring that item up too, or they might have an answer for you
Right,
by that
right,
meeting.
yeah.
If I may, Larry, I can assure you that if CAL FIRE doesn't approve this configuration, the vacation will not go through. That I can
Yeah.
assure you.
Well,
So
right, yeah, yeah.
It's really built in. If we don't get their sign off,
It won't happen. Yeah,
exactly. So
totally.
we're confident, but we haven't spoken to one of their captains or any of their folks that are handling this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Public Works,
Fire prevention staff.
Public Works has looked at it extensively, frankly. They've looked at it a lot. We've gone several rounds of review.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just offer that.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
and I had a
Um,
question.
Go ahead, Lindy.
Again, oh, if you wanted to speak, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to add that, Rocky and I are fine with the vacate not happening. We would like it to, and I know our neighbor would like to not have, he's been pulling the weeds in the road, so he's he likes that idea of not maintaining the road. So, but it's not, we understand that there might be concerns with the fire department or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but just so you guys know, our heart's not set on it,
Oh, okay.
Flexible.
we have a plan for both ways.
Okay.
So-
thank you.
I had a bigger question, which is probably going to be coming up as we go forward with this approval growth management setup. We have a list of people that have been waiting to build, and I just wonder if your request, it looked like it's very new, and I just wondered if it's been on the list.
Yeah, I can speak to that, Lindy.
Thank you,
The
Jeff.
list that you're referring to is for properties within the prohibition zone, also known as the sewer service area. This is outside of the sewer service area, so it relies on the growth management for the county as a whole, which currently is at 2.3%. once the community plan is approved and the 1%, if that's the way it goes, gets folded into the our coastal plan, then the entire community will be subject to the 1%. But at this point, it's outside of the prohibition zone. It is 2.3%.
And so has this project been in the works for a while? Because it looks like 415, which is just less than a month ago, is the new project, the referral request. I'm just asking. This
I would
is a
just say
brand
there's
new.
a lot of planning time went into this
It's been
after
over a year.
of just working with Preston and refining the plans and doing the biological resource assessment took a while. So there's a lot that goes into the application itself.
But the date where it says Coastal County referral request, new project, the date requested was last month on the 15th. Is that,
That's the applied date.
that's what?
That's the applied date for like when we turn in the application.
Well,
Yeah, it's a recent application. That's right.
well, I might
This
make a
is- This
suggestion
is
that
up
we,
in, I just wanted to mention, it's up in Cabrillo, which is outside of our, whatever Jeff calls it, our sewer basin
prohibition
area,
zone.
prohibition zone, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I could almost say that we might want to look at it next month, and after we have some of the paperwork corrected and the CAL FIRE input, and take a look at it then, it would give us a chance to, because it's only been in the works for less than a month.
Lindy, I do not see a valid reason for holding this project up in land use here. I'd much rather see it move on to LOCAC for the end of the month. And again, open it up to the public for comments, because that's all LOCAC and land use is to present the county planning department with community input, and I think in our minutes, we've listed questions and that the community has, but I think they should be able to keep moving this project forward.
Okay.
We could certainly address at the full LOCAC meeting, we could address whatever questions myself and Lindy have.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and
Take it to full LOCAC.
these folks are aware of it. They're also aware of building here in Los Osos. They have built other things here. It's, and the county is going to make sure that they dot all their I's and cross all their T's, with the fire department, with the habitat committee, all this stuff that we have questions of. The county also has rules and questions that they ask the applicants, and have them follow, like the fire department. Fire department has to sign off on this,
Mhm.
and so they already have a plan B. If they can't get the road, then
Yeah,
they go to
no,
plan B.
it's moving along a little faster than most projects move along, so that was my concern, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But-
no, speed is
Yeah.
great. It's just things happen sometimes if you,
Okay.
anyway, I'll go ahead and
Anyone like
propose,
to make a motion on this project? If no one makes a motion, I'd like to make a motion that we pass this project on to LOCAC, have them put it on their agenda for the May 23rd meeting.
I second that motion.
with updates on the water use and the CAL FIRE approvals.
Okay, if there are any, yeah, for any updates, or again, we can raise questions there. I'm not asking it to be put on the consent agenda, just on the open agenda, and then more questions can be added.
Okay.
And then Jacob, you second that. All those in favor? I'm for one.
Me, Molly.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
Jacob,
abstain.
can't see your hand.
Sorry, I got it. Yeah.
You got it. There we go. That's three. And Lindy, what
I'm
are,
gonna I want to abstain right now, so
okay,
I can
That's
approve it next
fine.
time.
that's wonderful. So let it show that there are the 4 in favor and 1 abstained. And that's it then. I want to thank you folks for coming on our Zoom show. As you know, this will be going to LOCAC Thursday night, May 23rd.
Is that
On
an
their
in-person
agenda.
meeting?
It's a Zoom meeting also like this.
Okay, okay,
So you can do it from the comfort of your home. You don't
okay.
have- And
All right.
yeah,
Well, thank
And
you.
we
Thank
will-
you for your consideration.
we wish you
very
luck,
much.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
bye-bye.
You guys too.
Thank you. See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Dave and Bev, I want to say hello. Just, I know you're back there somewhere. Oh, I didn't open it up to questions, but
Oh,
anyway,
Larry, I have one thing before we move on from this. So you said 4 in favor, 1 abstain, but isn't it 3 in favor?
Three.
Me and Jacob?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so 3 in favor, 1 abstain, which is
Thank
Lindy.
you. Thanks for
So-
correcting me on that.
Total of 4 people. Okay.
Okay.
Didn't
And
we
I
have
know-
another project on here? The one on Fifth and Santa Isabel?
I think that's for June, isn't it?
That's for the next meeting. We have 2 projects for the next meeting that I've
Oh,
sent
okay.
out to everyone. But yeah, for tonight, there's just this one. The other ones came in like last week.
Okay.
And there wasn't enough time to go over them and look at them and stuff.
Okay. So nothing else on the agenda?
Nothing else. Short, sweet meeting tonight?
Very good.
I'll just make one comment.
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah, it's Dave Bolus.
Dave.
It didn't appear that the locac.info website had anything except the agenda. Maybe I didn't know what to click on, but it seemed like the information packets or whatever were not, didn't look like they were available to me, but I may not have searched around there well enough, just as a comment.
If you look in the land use, not the LOCAC,
So on
File.
the land use agenda, Larry?
or if you're looking for it, you go to, from the website, you go to land use, not LOCAC agenda, or and then you click on file link, and I've had 3 files in there.
Okay,
And
Yeah,
I had the
Oh,
minute.
they're separate. So Larry, you're saying they're separate documents when you go to LOCAC, and instead of clicking on join a meeting, you say go to the agendas, and then a
Land
bunch of
use.
different documents pop up there. And is that where you're saying the files are?
But you have
It's
to go to
actually-
land use,
Yeah,
not LOCAC. You
yeah.
gotta go to
I've
land
got it right.
use.
I've got it right now. So if you pull up the land use agenda for tonight's meeting, at the very bottom, G agenda items is a request by Glenn, and is it who's Glenn setting?
That's Rocky. That's his full.
Oh, that's
legal
his
name.
real name. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so that is there, and then it has a drive.
But then also in that, Lindy, also in that thing that you're looking at, isn't there's the agenda, there should be a packet with this house in it.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I'm not
I
able
forget,
to
but it's
open it
blue.
up.
And I that's what I opened up. It's at the bottom of the request for a minor use permit. So
It's I went to your guys' website, and it's like a 92-page document that
Right.
Larry uploaded.
right.
Yeah, so it
Yep.
is there.
Yeah, it's there.
Right.
It's in the Google Drive link.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's a separate document than the agenda.
Yep.
But it's in the agenda.
and
Yeah,
it's
You
my-
also,
my
you
link
just
for
go
the
to the
agenda is in
website, you
Word.
go to the committees, you go to the click for link for files.
Yeah,
Well, you go to,
That's the Google
I went-
Drive. You should bookmark it.
I went to committees and then I went down to land use. And then I opened up tonight's meeting agenda. At the bottom, it does have this project attached.
yeah. So we try to make it, I won't want to say foolproof, but there's a link to the agenda, and then I also have posted the actual, not the agenda, but the project itself, a
Yeah,
90.
maybe it was because it was a 92-page document and my computer had a revolted reaction to it. But
Dave, I
anyway,
definitely know
thank you.
that. I definitely know that. Mine doesn't like it either, you know.
I'm,
But yes, it is there, and I am not sure how else to do that, except, you know, again, if you go to the agenda, the link, it might take you to the link. But
yeah, I
Old
just had that
computer-
problem too. It opened
Oh.
up and it shows a gray file. And then you open the gray file and it sends you back into a loop. So I don't know how I opened it a little bit ago. Yeah,
okay,
not, our website's not really easy.
yeah, it's there. It's old computers don't like the new
yeah.
technology. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording of this somewhere or
Okay.
another, because I don't think